Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. Because while Dolphin fans are arguing about OTA practices and going gaga over quarterback highlights while we're playing in pajamas, the New York Jets are building something. And if Dolphin fans aren't paying attention, they just might miss what the New York Jets are trying to become. It's the Fish Out of Water Show. We're going to talk about it right now. And we're back at it. I know. It's been a hot little minute, and only the shorts were coming out, and then I've been fighting off this sinus infection, but you already know, man. Life been lifing, and like I said, you got a life right back at it. I done already told you.
I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop.
So what we're doing this episode here, we're going to be studying one of the 48 laws of power.
My father taught me many things here. He taught me, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
While Michael Corleone was speaking about gangster life and the dynamics of being killed by one's enemies, this is football and not exactly in the realm of life and death. But it is in the realm of wins and losses. And in the game of football, well, that is life and death, ain't it? So as we enter the dead period for football, instead of these bogus-ass filler content episodes and clickbait thumbnails, and y'all know who y'all are, we're going to start a legitimate off-season series that fits the Fish Out of Water Show brand. So while everybody else is staring at Miami...
You just going to sit there staring at the back of the seat?
Waiting on what they going to do, we're going to be studying the teams trying to beat Miami. We'll take a look at the Bills. We'll take a look at the Pats. But today we're going to take a surface level look at the division rival New York Jets. Jets. Spelled with the J but pronounced with the Y. Okay, so no estoy hablando español en este momento. Okay? We're going to take a look at what the New York Jets have done this offseason in preparation for the Dolphins and the rest of their 2026 regular season. It's something that us, high football IQ and the extreme hardcore Dolphin is going to want to look into. So you casuals, you're welcome to join us or click on through. But we're going to take a look at what the enemy is doing over there. Okay, so here's your core thesis for the episode. This episode should not be a transaction review, free agency recap, or draft recap. They didn't have a crappy draft, I tell you that. The episode should be, what problems are the Jets trying to solve?
What the problem is? What the problem is? What the problem is?
These episodes should feel like, what is it that our rivals are trying to become? What moves are they making? Because all of it is related to, and how does this affect our Miami Dolphins? And that, my good people, is relevant all offseason, not just clickbait, okay? So that's going to take us right here into our first segment, because we know that every team, at least usually, is designed to win their division. You play each team 2 times for those 6 games. You try to take care of everybody else, but you want to win a division, get the home playoff game, and if need be, take the show on the road from there, okay? So the question is not, what moves did they make? That's not what we're doing. You can look that up on Google.
Don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that. See what I'm talking about.
Okay? The question is 2 parts here. What are the Jets actually building? And how, if at all, does it affect the Miami Dolphins? So last year's New York Jets suffered a historically dismal season, okay? They finished 3-14, and them boys came in dead last in the AFC East.
Tragic.
So an atrocious offense. The defense failed to get a single interception all year. That defense set an NFL record with only 4 takeaways, and it clearly had team-wide discipline issues. And it showed up in the penalties and blown coverages all year long. Should sound familiar. So with the New York Jets offseason moves, it's safe to say they've reshaped that roster. They're prioritizing a massive defensive overhaul under second-year head coach Aaron Glenn. And Glenn ain't no chump. Y'all remember Glenn. Y'all remember A.A. Ron.
Attempt 4 wideout bounce on the field as Marino fires. It's picked off. Aaron Glenn.
4. Quick pass, far side, bobbled. It is intercepted. Aaron Glenn.
So again, what are the Jets trying to fix? What's the context here? Their offseason wasn't built around not having skill players. They weren't saying, oh, they just need a quarterback or they don't have a wide receiver. The Jets are trying to establish their identity, much like we are. But taking a look at it, for years, the Jets have had talent come through that roster. So without all of the fanfare about it and going Dolph fan on it, if you take an honest look and be real with yourself, the Jets have had talent come across that roster for years. But what they haven't had is direction. And Aaron Glenn's offense screams nothing but physical football. Them boys trying to bow up at the rest of the league. So you take a look at what their major trades and the acquisitions were. Safety Minkah Fitzpatrick acquired in a so-called blockbuster trade from the Dolphins to anchor that secondary. You got nose tackle Javondre Sweat coming over from the Titans. That's a massive presence for that defensive line. That's a big body to move. Okay, linebacker Demario Davis comes back to New York, 2-year, $22 million deal to provide leadership and tackling at the second level. So if you think about it, that's 22 twos. Get it? No? Okay. Don't worry about it. You're going to see when the season starts. Joseph Asai on the edge, 3-year deal at $36 million to bolster that pass rush. And you got Austin Jackson over there that hasn't shown you that he can stay healthy consistently. That could potentially be a problem. Defensive tackle David Onmanyata added to the interior. Another edge, Kingsley, I can never say his name right, Enigbari, signed a 1-year deal, $10 million contract. So they finally invested in their own roster and draft capital, very similar to what we've done. The key re-signing there was Jamie Sherwood, 3-year deal, $45 million after having a team MVP season. And then they exercised the 5th-year option on the defensive end, Will McDonald. And this boy trying to get a new contract. So you think he ain't going to be playing with his hair on fire? It's something that you need to pay attention to. What I think is their keynote piece of the offseason. I think that this was their trophy here, getting quarterback Geno Smith. Brought in to be the quarterback one and assume the starting quarterback role. And let's be fair about Geno, bro. He is not going to be the same inexperienced quarterback that was there on his first tour of duty with the Jets. But why Dolphin fans should be paying attention? Because the Jets aren't trying to outscore Miami right now. They're trying to beat Miami in a completely different way. Maybe, just maybe, Aaron Glenn is building a defense that's specifically designed to punch Miami square in the mouth. And then everything revolves around that. So as that leads us into our next segment, it's abundantly clear that they're building a defensive football team. And this is where we'll take a look at the shortcomings from last year, the organizational and the roster fall off. First and foremost, the Jets they had a fire sale last year. They started off 0-7, mid-season reset that basically resulted in the team, trading away Sauce Gardner, Quentin Williams. They threw the season in the can and said they're going to build for the future. And the future is now. It's next season already. So the offensive line struggled, interior blocking, especially at that center position. But they've done some things to shore that up. But a lot of pressure was put on the quarterback. And now they got a guy who has enough experience to get the line right. He can get them in the correct blocking assignments. So that's something that you need to be aware of. You want to add to that, the Jets just re-signed Joe Tippmann. That's a statement. That dude is now a core piece of what they doing on the offensive line. They already had the 2 bookend first-round tackles, Fasanu and Armand Mimble. And then they go off and give extension to running back Breece Hall, very similar to what the extension that we did with Devon Achane. You have to be paying attention to what they're doing because these aren't bad moves. So picking back up with Geno Smith, they feel as though they have addressed or believe they have overcome quarterback ineptitude. And the position struggled with Justin Fields last year. He could not spark the offense. He got benched before getting traded. And then Tyrod Taylor didn't do nothing but stay hurt. And again, I say Geno will be better now than he was the first time around. And that's just something that you have to be cognizant of. And after that, all the important moves flow straight to the defense. A team that had no interceptions whatsoever. The defense set basically a futility record by failing to get one, and their coach is a former defensive back. How you think that went over in his offseason plans? You think he ain't scheming? You think he ain't coaching? You think he's not teaching? You think he's not using veterans like Minkah to get that secondary where it needs to be? So that led to a historic lack of takeaways. The Jets finished the year with a league low 4 total takeaways and basically destroyed what used to be their identity as a defensive team. That's what they were in previous seasons. The run defense was abysmal. 140 yards a game, 4th worst in the NFL. And a bunch of undisciplined play. Bunch of blown assignments, struggling to contain mobile quarterbacks and scrambling plays. Now, you would think that would seem to bode well for us, right? Because what kind of quarterback do we have now? So, but Minkah, Demario, Tavondre, these dudes aren't just players, bro. That's a symbol of what they want their defense to be. Will it last long term? To be determined. But it all represents veteran leadership, communication, toughness, and physicality. And that's where their identity is headed. The New York Jets added a bunch of first-round picks. They had 3 first-round picks. And a total of 8 new additions. So edge rusher David Bailey out of Texas Tech, the tight end Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon, who I liked, and then Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver off the national championship team that you're going to pair up with Wilson over there now. So they finish off the draft with second-round pick D'Angelo Pons, cornerback out of Indiana. Number 4, 2 4s, Darrell Jackson, defensive tackle out of Florida State, who's going to have a chance to develop. That dude is a little bit overrated, and he dropped for a reason, but no immediate impact is needed from him right now. He's going to get a chance to sit back and learn how to do it the right way. And I don't think Cade Klubnik, the other 4th-round pick, they're not going to be clamoring for him to come in over Geno. So he's going to have a chance to sit back and hold the clipboard and wait. Now, the pick that hurt my heart right here was Anez Cooper, their 6th-round pick, because I felt like we could have and should have taken Anez Cooper right there. But listen, let me tell you, I do believe in DJ Campbell, and I'm casting my vote for DJ Campbell for starting right guard. Jonas Savaiinaya is still a remnant of Chris Grier. That's Chris Grier's lack of talent evaluation, and because of who Chris Grier was, that is a stain on Joe Savaiinaya. I hate to do it to him like that, but bro, you are a product of Chris Grier, and I want no remnants of Chris Grier's fingerprint left on this team. Last pick, VJ Payne, safety out of Kansas State, and dude will be a special teamer, practice squatter, whatever. But all of these things they didn't have last year, and thusly they are not the same team. No team is the same team from year to year. And that's why I say the clickbait episodes with predicting the Dolphins records in June and July is just stupid and dumb to me. And
no way. Ooh, too yucky.
Those creators are. Mama said if you can't say something nice, then don't say something at all. Hey, hi, Mom. I'll just say I'm not that type of creator. Okay, and I hope to never be, to just sit there and just bring you clickbait. Everything that I bring you should be something worth talking about. So what does that mean for Miami? The question still, like I said, it comes in 2 parts. What are the Jets actually building, and how, if at all, does it affect the Miami Dolphins? And that dynamic of affecting the Miami Dolphins, if at all, the answer to that is yes. But most importantly is, how does it affect the Dolphins? This is the most important part right here, because what you have to realize is that the Jets aren't just trying to beat the Buffalo offense, and they're not just trying to catch up to what the Patriots were as division champs last year. No, 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 no. Contrary to popular belief, those aren't their biggest rivals. The Pats thing is relatively new, and that's mostly left over from, the Tom Brady hating. Everybody hated the Patriots, and see, that's what our Gen Z and our millennial Dolphins think, because they don't know WTF they talking about. But I'm gonna learn you. The Jets are trying to beat the unknown quantity,
the otherwise contradictory systemic anomaly
that is this new and versatile but still relatively unfamiliar to them Miami Dolphins team. Well, see, we don't know exactly what we are going to be, so the Jets can't know what we're going to be. But that, because of the unknown, that's the reason why they appear to be building this flexible but physical defense. See, they can only base it off of our history, and recent history has proven that we have not and are not a physical team until we prove it. We kept the same type of offensive identity with Slowick moving up, and Aaron Glenn knows that Miami wants speed, rhythm, and space. Right, yeah. So you thought I was going to say timing. Yeah, nah. When asked about the Great Wall in Miami, Patrick Paul and Caden Proctor being tall on the left side of the line, we have a quarterback that says he can see over the line now.
Yeah, that is a very nice problem to have. Yeah, that some people want to maul some other people for you, and I can see just fine.
So throwing to an open space and anticipating and all that timing thing, that ain't it. We need space in our offense because we have a mobile quarterback that can actually extend plays and improvise. Contrary to what you think we might have formerly had. So Aaron Glenn is building disruption, tackling, pressure, and physicality. Okay? So the Jets aren't building a team trying to win a track meet with Miami. They're trying to build a team to punch Miami in the mouth. So pay attention. Is it working or is it going to work? I don't know, and I'll never proclaim to have all the answers. But this is where I need you guys to have some input. So you tell me, you hit me up in the comments and we'll chat about it. Because we got some viewers that know what they're talking about, and I like interacting with them. So y'all hit me up in the comments, and I will answer back as swiftly as I can. So, but be fair about it. Don't just go all Dolphin on it. Because the Jets that the moves that the Jets made actually make sense. Getting tongue-tied here. The question is whether or not Geno Smith can make enough plays. Yeah, they had a lack of offensive firepower. Garrett Wilson got paid and went down, and I mean that's usually what happens right after a guy get paid, right? But they didn't have a quarterback that could maximize distribution. Now they do. Because eventually football still comes down to the quarterback making plays. And Geno Smith has shown you that he's a better quarterback than he was the first time he was there. 5 straight years with a 90+ QBR or better in Seattle. And he won that. I forgot who that was he beat out, but he won that job. He legitimately won a quarterback competition and went on to succeed for 5 straight years. You can't even count what he did with the Chargers and the Giants, because I mean, those weren't necessarily great situations. And I wouldn't count what happened with the Raiders either, because I mean, it was Pete Carroll, dude. The game is past Pete Carroll. It was over with for him. That's why they let him go. So,
Whoop-de-doo! What does it all mean, Basil?
What's my final verdict? The Jets aren't trying to be flashy, dude. They trying to be difficult. Always trying to be difficult. That's what it is, and that's what we need to be watching as Dolphin fans. It's not because the Jets are just better on paper. It's because they actually appear to finally kind of know which direction they want to head in. That's very, very similar to what we're trying to achieve, isn't it? So game recognize game, and don't ever forget that. So, yeah, man, let me close with this, man. Keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer, because the New York Jets may not be the biggest threat in the division, but they might be the most different threat in the division. And if Aaron Glenn succeeds in any way, shape, form, or fashion, the rest of the AFC East is going to feel it. So pay attention, man. That's our time for this episode. Next week, we'll take a look at the proverbial put out the playoffs Buffalo Bills. And, yeah, I know some people who are not going to like that one. But you know what it is, man. They can see me. Fins up, foes down. It's the Fish Out of Water Show. And we'll see you for that next episode. Y'all be easy out there. All right.